Aesop Rock, Skelethon, Dead and Hip Hop review. This is shit. This is the sixth album.
More than that.
I think it's pretty extensive. I think it's a 6 album.
6. Yeah. Anyway, man, yeah, this is a pretty dope album. Has a couple of things that stood out to me the most. For the most part, for me, first listen was definitely the production, and I really love what he did with beats and stuff on his album. Cycles of Kahina, dope beat. Zero Dark 30 beat was dope to me. Tetris beat was crazy. So the production on this album was great, man. I really enjoyed it. For me, as I said on the Evidence Cats and Dog review, when it comes to Aesop, rhyming, his voice kind of takes some getting used to, and he actually, when it comes to his rhyme style, the lyrics, he packs a lot of words and stuff into his lyrics. So it really takes a while for me to kind of pull out what he's saying and what the song is about. So for me, it was a challenge for me to kind of get through that and kind of listen to the album, because it's just a lot in there. So, man, I said that, it takes a while for me to understand what he's saying. It's the sound of his voice, man. I can't, it's not real clear, man. That's just how my ears are made up. But for the most part, I think, listening to this without doing other stuff when I'm, in the bed just chilling, really allowed me to kind of understand a lot of the things that they was kind of putting in there. But one of the standout tracks for me was the Rose?
Crows?
Not Crows. Crows, 1 and 2 was great, but it's the one about the girl.
Rugby one? Yeah.
That was really dope, man. I really enjoyed that one. It's probably one of the standout tracks for me on the album, but yeah, man, that's it. It's definitely a good project that he put out, man. Good album.
Well, you know what? Honestly, I agree with a lot of what Ken was saying. His voice does take a little bit of getting used to, but I like his voice. But it had me tuning out his lyrics, because I was listening to his voice over the beats, and like Ken was saying, man, the production on this shit is amazing. It's amazing, beginning to end, including the bonus tracks. So I got the deluxe version, and for me, my 2 standout tracks on this, like I had to go back and remember them, was ZZZ and ZZZ Top and Crows 2, the second one. They were just dope, man. Aesop, like Ken said, I had to listen to it a couple times just to like grasp what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? But I think for me more so, it was just I love the way he flows. So I think I was just listening to him more so just in a musical standpoint, like listening to his voice and the sound on the beats versus what he was actually saying. And I enjoyed it more like that. But then, I went back and listened to it, and I'm like, this guy's super dope. You know what I'm saying? This guy, this album is really, really, really good. It's really, really good. I think for me though, I think the production outshined Aesop for me. But I just think that the production was stellar. I think it was up there. I think it's probably the best production I've heard on the album this year.
Yeah, this album here is I was definitely not really surprised, but I was kind of shocked that not shocked. Oh shit.
Where were you?
I was about to just get on production because I think this is probably one of his maybe first projects. He produced his entire album himself. Which I was surprised, because I'm so used to seeing Blockhead on the production a lot on most of his previous works. But I thought this was his most, I guess almost could say most personable album. I think, because going away from his concepts that he always had on his previous albums, this was the one he kind of opened up and had like that storytelling track. That was one of my standout tracks. I love that one. And I hate to say it, but I like Zero Dirty 30, even though that was the leading single for the
Zero Dark 30.
I'm sorry.
That shit was dope though.
Yeah, I know it was, but I hate
to say it.
Cause I hate when the singles be the best, like the best song on the album.
But that's the good thing though.
I know, but still. I guess that's just me. Like when you hear the single, like I heard that shit before. So when I hear the album, I don't expect the single to be the best song on the album. But the single for me, the single was the best song.
There's not many you don't run into where you gonna be able to.
But he's like an underground MC though, right? And their singles, they're not pitching for the radio and stuff like that. So their singles are gonna be different from a normal single you would hear.
Yeah, that's true. You said what? I'm safe. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Rugby 81. You know, Grace, how he told that story about him not, liking to eat vegetables and stuff. I like how he got a little, storytelling in this album. And I can see why. I can see why he called it Skelethon, because he kind of like I said, he got real personal. So I think he kind of stripped himself a lot. Because if you, like I said, I'm pretty sure Mike can probably co-sign this. His previous albums were very concept-wise. You know what I'm saying? So for this one to go very personal, he just, he went a different direction for me, which I ain't complaining. I was just hoping to see Blockhead on the production, but other than that, he did a great job on the production himself. The beats, track 1, just from the opening of the album stood up. And my other standout track is the last one. What is it called? Go for Guts. That was another really personable song. So overall, I liked it. I like the project. I mean, voice don't bother me, because I always I've been up on him since Labor Day. So voice never bothered me with Aesop Rock. So.
Yeah, man, I thought it was good. I'll say this though, I'm really glad we did not review this early.
We did that outline and shit.
I know I'm crying again. Sorry, guys.
Really?
Right. He's emotional.
So good to cry.
He's getting emo.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't review this early, because I'll be honest. When I first heard this album, I fucking hated it. I hated it, and then I listened to it again, and I hated it. And it was the first Aesop album I've ever heard that I didn't like, and I was like, God fucking damn, what's wrong? What's happening? And I don't know what it was but by like the 4th listen, I was like, oh my God, what the fuck was I thinking the first 3? Like, this shit is amazing. It's like, I think it was just the fact that his production caught me off guard. Like, I didn't expect that. I was definitely surprised and shocked, because it is the first album he's entirely produced. He did a lot of tracks on Bazooka Tooth, but he got shit for it. Even though I love that album, but I think the album's stellar. But he had Blockhead, LP produced one track. But either way, what?
But the fact what?
No, go ahead.
What? Just say it, because you'll forget by the time what?
No, go ahead. It wasn't nothing.
Anyway. But yeah, I think that he deserves a lot of praise for the fact that his production skills have increased leaps and bounds. I don't think he needed Blockhead on this album. Because when the first 3 listens, I was saying, fuck, he needs Blockhead. But then again, it was just, I don't know, man. By the 4th listen, it was like, okay, I really see what he did. The production, the beats are so layered. It's not typical hip hop production. It's almost like he worked with an indie rock band or something. It's all live. It's a lot of live instrumentation, and that's not even getting to the lyrics. But yeah, the production alone, this album is incredible. Getting to his lyrics, I don't know if this is any more personal than his other albums, because he's got plenty of songs that are really personal. But I don't know, like when you listen to Aesop Rock, I don't really go on there and try to dissect his lyrics, because a lot of times I think that he just writes stuff that's really on a relationship that's in his life. You know what I mean? Like, he'll put shit in his, like, he has a song about Bob's Donuts, and I didn't get that shit at all until I watched the video of him talking about it. I'm like, why would he write a song about a donut shop that barely anybody knows about? But that's how he is. He can do shit like that.
Well, what's the thing about the cat, the mummy?
How to mummify? Yeah, I love that shit. That shit was great.
Like, he loves cats.
But
because when he had a video about him, something about cats. I saw a video.
The lead-in videos, like, he released all these like trailer videos up before the album release, and it was these videos of him dragging around a dead cat, and he kept running into the Grim Reaper that was trying to like take the cat. I think he's trying to say how important pets are, because y'all know I got my baby, so.
When I was listening to that song, he was putting this cat together, the whiskers, and I'm like, that's Mike crazy.
Like, whiskers.
Yeah. I was like, that's Mike. When I listened to that song, I was like, that's Mike.
I was disappointed. You understand this shit? I take my cat seriously.
He got the tattoo.
Fuck y'all. Anyway.
I love my cat on your chest. What's that?
You ever seen a little cat panda?
Damn,
That's my little baby that died.
Oh,
fuck y'all.
That's sweet.
I didn't mummify her though.
So
either
nice.
way, but if you listen to the track and how deep it gets on the second, I'm a man. Where he starts chanting, take the brain out, leave the heart in. Like, that's fucking deep. That's not just playing to that song. He's like, take more to your heart versus your brain sometimes. Like, I think with every track on there is a deeper meaning to it. But it just takes a long time to actually figure it out. And sometimes you just pull shit out that he may not even meant.
That's how he always.
But that's how he always is. But you know, with ZZZ Top, I think that was probably the best track on there because that track to me was extremely deep. Not okay, just tackling the content wise, right? You have the hip hop kid, the punk kid, and the rock kid. I don't know if anybody picked that out. So no, like I think the song was really deep because it was like he was talking about how important that music can be for people, right? Because like you have these outcasts that are in school and they're writing stuff on their shoes, writing it on the walls, writing on their desk, you know. And no matter how bad shit gets, like you always have music. Like where he says, they ask you how you're feeling, you tell them it feels like, what do you say, something, what do you say, what's the lyric? Something arrived, oh fuck, I can't think of the lyric now. And then did you pick up his vocal patterns on that track? But if you listen to it again, he starts off rapping really slow, he picks up really fast, and he goes slow again. He does it on every fucking verse at the exact same point. And I didn't even pick that shit up until again, like the fourth or fifth fucking listen. And I think that only Aesop can, like only he does shit like that. Like who else even thinks that deeply about music to do something that fucking bizarre on a track? It's just crazy. But yeah, overall, I think, you know, this is definitely a fucking great album. It's definitely a great album, and I'm glad that I didn't just give up on it after a couple listens. You know, I'd have been really pissed off at myself. But he definitely took a really sharp left turn from None Shall Pass, considering that was almost all. Was it all Blockhead? I think it was all Blockhead production, wasn't it?
No,
It was almost all Blockhead.
It was almost all. I think he had like maybe one or two. I think he did himself.
That he did himself, yeah. So I mean, it's definitely, and no features. Yep. Which is unless you got the deluxe version, but
I love that.
That's rare for Aesop. You know, I'm used to hearing L on a track. Nah, they haven't been vast areas on a track, but I'm used to hearing at least somebody on a track. But yeah, it's a good album, man.
Yeah, it's a good album. You know, definitely one that you can listen to and get it first listen. I mean, this is an album that takes repeat listens over and over. I listened to this thing over 10 times just to try to really kind of pull together, you know, my thoughts on the album. So, because just the way Aesop is, and you know the way he rhymes and all the other good stuff. But out the gate, the production was dope to me. Everything else, just trying to put it all together. But definitely a dope album. Definitely go out, scoop it up, and support, man. He put out a pretty good piece of work, so fuck with it.
Yeah, I agree with Ken. Fuck with this album. Purchase it, support the artist, check him out. Check out his previous stuff too. Bazooka 2, Nine Shall Pass, Labor Days, Daylight EP. Check him out. I like it. I enjoy that.
Yo, if there was no lyrics on this, I think B would have picked it for B Tape of the Week. Honestly, this shit is dope. Production, lyrics, the artist Aesop. You know what I'm saying? Rock. It's dope, man. Go support this shit because he really put his foot in it, man. It's really dope.
Yeah, I think this is great. Production is stellar. I think Aesop Rock definitely deserves a lot of praise for this. Even when he produced the Fell 3 album, a lot of people shit on that. And I thought his production was great on that album, but he definitely just leaps and fucking bounds, man. So big props to him for that. And as always, on a microphone, dude is unfucking touched. Nobody can copy him. No one can emulate him. He's in a league of his fucking own, and that's what I've always loved about Aesop Rock. But yeah, this is definitely gonna be a classic for this year. It's definitely gonna go in my top 10 best albums this year. I can't say yet. I know people asked. I can't say yet if it's gonna knock L out. I don't think it is, but it's creeping up. Like L's ass is right here. And Aesop is smacking that shit like just.
You say
you know,